Welcome, everyone. My name is Shawn Jones, and I'm the CEO of the iNetrapreneur Network. And today I have with me Donna Meador. She is a friend. We do business together. She's part of our community. Donna has a very interesting background of where she started and where she's at. You can find her featured in a variety of magazines. She has her business. Her business partner is her husband. And Donna has such a unique story. And with her story comes love, friendship, business, and so much more. So I am proud to introduce Donna Meador. Donna, thank you so much for being here today.
Shawn, thank you so much. I am so touched to be asked to interview with you. It's such a privilege with what you and your husband partner are doing with iNetrapreneur. So it's just so fabulous to be a part of it.
Well, Donna, I know you very well. And as you know, one of my core beliefs is there's always enough business talk, but we don't take enough time to really dive into a little bit about the person behind the business. Share with everyone a little bit about you and your story.
Thank you, Shawn. I would like to say I'm raw footage because my journey, and it's so interesting. I had somebody come up to me one time and say, how does it feel to have started over twice? And I went, have I started over twice? And when I really stop and think about it, I think a lot of us, we started over a lot of times, right? Like how I started out in high school and what I went to after that is way different than where I'm at today. And what puts us on the path of our journey, what decisions we make along the way matters. And my new mantra, if you will, is every decision we make and every decision we decide upon is a vote for the person we want to be. Mm-hmm. And, when I'm younger, I could be happy doing anything. If it was sweeping out garages, if it was, whatever it was, because I just had this sort of fun attitude in life. And as I got older, we go through more experiences, and I still had a fun attitude toward life, but I became more deliberate about what it is I exactly wanted to do. And there was always a little seed in me that wanted to change lives in some form. And that journey began literally when I was early 40s, 43. I had just recovered from chronic fatigue. A friend of mine had passed away, and I started dating in my early 40s. Wow. And I was in New York City. So that was like, whoa, people are like, I don't know what to do when you're dating. Well, I didn't know what to do either, and found out most people didn't, Shawn. So I started dating. I read all the books, and then I wrote a book about it because there was just something missing, because I felt like dating was really not a personal endeavor, and people took it so personally. And that's where that journey started.
And your journey started because you became a widow, and it sounded like it was, obviously not expected, and which also brought you in a way to your love of your current life.
Yes.
And who is also your partner.
Yeah, I'm so blessed. How many people, I found two loves in this life. And here's the thing. So when I wrote the book and went out dating, it took me 3.5 years to meet my late husband. He did pass away in 2016. I didn't think I'd ever really find love again. I don't even think I ever went out to look for it. And lo and behold, here I am a year after grieving and starting to date again. And 6 months in, I meet Jeffrey. And so many things I have so many emotions about falling in love again and falling in love while you're still in love with your late husband, and then what those loves look like and what do you do with them. So then people started reaching out to me, Shawn. They're like, what, you're a dating coach, my picker's broken, how did you find love twice in a row? And then I knew that there was a message that people wanted to hear. And so now I'm writing my second book. And yes, my now husband, I like to call him my now husband, and I are in business together. We sell legal plans because they're just cool. And I've been doing that for 10 years. And he's like, well, I used to have this plan, and now holy mackerel, how did I lose it? And so we joined forces. But not only with that, Shawn, we're both extroverts. We both end up doing Facebook Live. We end up bringing energy to a room, and we've been discovered, and now we're launching a television show. So it's like this just keeps going. It's so much fun.
I love it. And you found a way to take what you've been doing for 10 years, which is the legal side, and you've incorporated your own personal experience. I mean, let's face it, when you lose a significant other or a child or something changes in your life,
Yeah.
we don't all have the options to have an attorney in our back pocket. So then you take your personal and things that you've gone through, you mix it with your dating. I mean, what was going through your mind? I mean, you don't think about dating and legal wrapped up into one blanket, but you seem to have done this.
Yeah, I thank you, Sean, because that's it. Every coach, every mentor has said you can't talk about both of those things. And I said, as a widow who almost got taken advantage of from a insurance policy that was turned down when my late husband passed away because he was in Mexico and not in the States. And the claim was denied, came back in a very nice letter form, pointing out all the reasons why it was denied. And, anybody else would have just taken that as verbatim, right? You would just go, oh, wow, my bad. And so, but because I had this legal plan, because Legal Shield gives everybody across the country and in Canada this opportunity to pick up the phone and talk to an attorney, legal counsel, without paying a penny for it, it took me a couple of months to get on my feet. But as soon as I made the call and talked to the attorney, and I said, look, I'm embarrassed. I'm a mature woman. I know how to read a contract, but do I have any options? Do I have any rights? He looked at the contract and they wrote a letter for me, and the denial was reversed, and I reaped a benefit of $13,500. But nobody would ever hire an attorney to find that out. So why do I bring that together with dating or relationships? Because single people are out dealing with child support issues, child custody issues, divorces, the loss of a child, the denial claim of an insurance or something that goes on in their, landlord issue or landlord tenant issue, something that happens in their world that we have been trained over the last, I'm going to say 50 years, to never pick up the phone and call an attorney because it doesn't make financial sense to do so, but we're changing that. So I wrap it together. I talk to people about relationships, and I'm inevitably going to hear somebody say, wow, I have this going on. I have that going on. You don't know about Legal Shield? Why wouldn't I empower people with that as well?
Mm-hmm. And my husband and I, and we use Legal Shield personally. I can't tell you how many times, whether it's reviewing contracts or creating some type of agreements, memo of understanding. I co-parent with a couple of kiddos, and sometimes co-parents need to have a friendly reminder about agreements that have been put in writing and approved by judges, and they just need that little reminder. And what I love with Legal Shield is you can always have your questions answered. It's not a matter of, oh my gosh, you have Legal Shield and now you need to pay this absorbent amount of a retainer and it's automatically court.
Yeah.
Do you happen, and I'm just going to put you on the spot, and you probably, I don't know if you know or not, but what are the statistics of people getting their issues resolved without going to court? I'm sure it's at least 50% get to avoid court. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, so over 10 years of doing this, and I've heard many attorneys get in front of the room and talk to us about the statistics. And of course, I'm not going to remember those, but here's what I do know. 80% of Americans don't have a will. We take care of that with the cost of a membership. And I know that my own personal retention, that means in 10 years of me empowering families to take care of their legalities in their personal life and in their business, because we have different plans, my retention is 90%. Sometimes it goes to 88, sometimes it goes to 91. What does that tell you? With a company that has this value where there's no contract and you can cancel at any time and people keep it because it works. So why? So a lawyer once said to us in front of a room, and I never forgot this, he said, it is way cheaper to keep you out of trouble than to get you out of trouble. So the percentage So our number one benefit is legal counsel. Legal counsel. What are my options? What are my rights? Do I have any? That's the best question you can ask an attorney. And I tell all my members that. And I say, look, you have an opportunity to talk to a top-rated law firm. Okay. They have a contract with our company. You don't. So ask your questions. Ask them.
That's right.
It's not going to cost you anything.
It's fantastic because all you do is you call a number. The call center, one of my reservations, and it happens all too often, you call those 800 numbers and gosh knows where you're at, and sometimes you're not getting the answers, or there's a communication barrier, or if you do happen to catch somebody on the phone, the person doesn't know anything other than, let me just take your name and number. And I know that every time I've called Legal Shield, it's quick. I've been able to ask some, basic questions, not stuff that would be designed for the attorney, but just basic stuff. And I get those questions answered all over the phone. And within, a very reasonable time frame, I have a consult by phone with an attorney.
No, isn't that wild? So, they get back because Legal Shield raised the bar. We demand that our attorneys get back to our members within 4 to 8 business hours. Okay. Document and contract review, 3 business days. And I love helping business owners and people who are used to paying high costs for attorneys, because they understand the value of what that means when I say an attorney's going to get back to them in 48 business hours. And somebody like myself who never, the first time I ever called the law firm, I didn't know any better. So I wanted more because I thought I should get more. And I never realized what it cost to talk to an attorney. And so I had to just learn by example of using my plan, because I was brand new to understanding it, and then realizing, oh, wow, this is so much value. If I look at everything that I pay for every month, Sean, if I look at everything, every bill in my house, there's nothing that reaps the benefit more than Legal Shield right now. So in 10 years, probably opened up 100 cases. Now, listen, I was a Girl Scout till I was a senior in high school. I don't get in trouble, but I want to stay out of trouble. I want to know what statute of limitations are, if any. I just went for a driver's license, update my driver's license, and I got stopped. Now, I've had my driver's license reviewed twice in Arizona and updated. Now, this is the 3rd time because I'm remarried. All I'm doing is changing the name, and it got stopped. It said there's a problem in New York DMV. You have to call them. I spent no less than 7 hours on hold in the course of a week to find out that in 2011, there was a gap in my insurance and I have a $50 fine. Now, I called my ID Shield to see if there was a scam going on. I called Legal Shield to find out if there was a statute of limitation before I even called the law firm, because I got to talk to a law firm here in Arizona, and I got to talk to one in New York, and I get to find out if there's a statute of limitation, because I don't want to agree to something that I shouldn't have to. Okay, because the law is not logical. So I call about everything. So let's see, 100 cases opened up in 10 years and reaped the benefits of close to $24,000 simply because I'm asking an attorney, what are my options?
That is right. And I do love how and you and I are here in Arizona, but if we have issues that are outside of the Arizona limits, that the law firm has connections with other attorneys in other states. So you're getting the advice based on Arizona and whatever state that you need to know what the laws are. And all the attorneys work together.
Yeah, I never thought I'd have a BFF over at the law firm here in Arizona. It's phenomenal. It's empowering. When I get to help a single mother deal with something that she thought she had no recourse, and I say, do you feel better just knowing you can pick up the phone and call an attorney? She says, yes, she has hope again. So I deliver hope. I want people to understand. And by the way, as a woman who lost her husband in 2016 and then got remarried, I'm on my 3rd will, never had to pay for it. Okay. Healthcare power of attorney, living will. These things are very important. And so my goal is to get out there and educate people the value of having an attorney in their pocket. By the way, we have an app. And so where they can just ask their questions, because again, the law is not logical and we don't know what the law is, do we, Sean? So
correct.
Let's let an attorney tell us what the law is, and then we call it a day.
Yes, yes. Which kind of brings us down the road. So you have with your wonderful husband the Meador effect. Tell us about the Meador effect. I mean, I know I see you all over social media. I mean, you now have your own show on Roku, right?
Yeah, we're on actually it's a Simul TV platform, and we're on the ICTV network, and we're launching in the summer. And this is just again, look at I get chills just thinking about this. Look at the stone that was thrown into the water in
Mhm.
2016. My husband passing away catapulted me into the world of relationships with women who are middle aged going out dating. Okay, and me empowering them not only with legal plans but also to help them understand if their picker's broken, right? And
Sure.
then because of Daily Dose of Donna, which was my voice before Jeff, my voice, I created such a following and didn't realize it. So when Daily Dose of Donna was gave somebody gave her homework, I talked of like she's third person, gave her homework and said, who, go ahead and interview somebody so you can get used to being in front of the camera. Of course, here I've been doing this for how many years. So I interviewed Jeff, and the people just gathered around and were just cheering us on. And I'm like, well, you want Jeff? They go, no, we want both of you. And so somebody screamed out the Meador effect, and the name was born, and we were discovered, and we have so much excitement going on in this household. It's almost too much to bear. It's like so exciting.
That is wonderful. So I don't know if you're ready to divulge. So when your show goes live, is it an interview format? Is it just you and Jeff having fun and being yourselves? What can we expect from the Meadors?
I'm so excited you asked because so think a variety show. It's fun, it's uplifting, it's empowering, it's inspiring, it's encouraging because Jeff's and I mission is to change lives. We are going to do interviews, and we are hoping to get Robert and Sean on as guests. So just stay tuned for that. And then we also are looking for sponsors, people. We're taking what we're used to doing, a 5 or 10 minute clip on Facebook, and now we're going into 190 countries, 24 and a half minutes. We'll have commercials, but they'll be fun, and we'll be interviewing, and we're going to keep the format. In other words, we're going to keep this fun bantering, Sean. I mean, I don't know how to memorize anything. So we'll pick a topic like we usually do, because just like you, we enjoy finding out, look, we know what it takes to become successful. But when you're in business with your partner, that's a
It's a
whole
whole,
other so now we want to that's a whole
yes.
other, that's a whole nother dynamic, and how we'd love to get into that because it's so delicious to hobnob and brainstorm with other couples who are on a mission and how they balance their different personalities and whatnot, right? It's really exciting time. So we'll look forward to seeing you and Robert on our show as well.
Well, we are looking forward to the invite and being there. And yes, working with your partner, whether you're married or not, just partners in love and business, there's just so many dynamics. I mean, you have to go into boundaries, and when do you turn your business off and turn it back on? And you still got to laugh and make it fun. And once you have that groove, everything else falls into place. So, Donna, if somebody wants to talk to you, whether it's about your show, it's about your book, it's about Legal Shield, how can we get a hold of you?
The easiest way to get hold of us is email at themeadoreffect.tv. Themeadoreffect.tv. And the reason it's the effect is because our show, it's our sincere desire that the Meador effect have an effect on you. And so that's where that makes sense.
Wonderful. Well, Donna, I am so happy and excited for all the wonderful things that are happening for you. I know you've worked very hard to get where you're at today. You're definitely an inspiration to everyone, whether you're that single middle-aged woman or you're an entrepreneur, you're a husband and wife going into business. I mean, I think you hit so many different markers. So, Donna, thank you so much for taking time and being here with me and sharing what you're doing in your world.
Such a pleasure, Sean. Thanks for having me.